focus points of your talk here? What would you like the audience to take away from your talk?
I think the main purpose of my talk was to make people zoom out, think about the big picture, because I think we have gone too deep into solving problems and solving it even more finely with better tools and more shiny tools and all of that. And somewhere I think we need to let at least a few people zoom out and think about what is worth solving and why. So the purpose really was to sort of get people thinking about the big picture, figuring out the solve the problem versus just on the solutioning side.
Yeah. So what tips would you have for young professionals trying to enter the field of AI and analytics?
I would say that people are right now over-indexed on the solution space, on how best to solve the problem, the best tool, the best methodology, all that. I think they have to equally focus also on the problem space. What is the problem? Why is it worth solving? Do they really believe it is worth solving? So I think the traditional critical thinking, defining the problem, some of those parts are getting missed out, and I would encourage people to continue to focus on that. In fact, I would argue that as time goes by, the solution space will get commoditized, automated, and maybe we'll need fewer people to do that, and maybe we'll need more people on the other side. So it'll be good to sort of go on the other side as well, because I suspect at some stage that will grow more.
Yeah. So what about the automation fears? What would you say about that? And at the same time, there's a skill shortage. So how would you? What would be your advice to organizations?
I think the shortage is because people are not willing to invest in training people.
Okay.
I think there are enough people. There's always a cost benefit of how much do I invest, how long can I wait, and all of that. So I think as any other shortage, people will sort of start focus on training people and developing them and all of that. Because on one side you also see that people are not getting jobs. I get lots of people who say, oh, I'm not getting a job, and there are other people saying, I'm not getting people. So clearly there's a gap that can be built. The question is, who invests in that training and who pays for it and things of that nature. So I think it's not a difficult problem to solve. There's a demand, there's a supply. Someone will figure out a way to meet.
What is your outlook for 2020 in terms of AI innovation, the trends?
I think it will continue. I don't think that is going to abate in any significant way, because this is a field which is expanding like crazy in newer domains, in newer industries, in newer ways. So I do think that this explosion, and some people call it a bubble, is still going to grow, at least in this year. I don't see it abating at all.
Yeah. And how has been your experience at Cypher? What are the key takeaways?
Cypher is interesting. I have known Bhaskar from a very long time. I was in Cypher 4 years ago, and the most interesting thing I found about Cypher this time was that in the last time that I came, AI was not even a word that a lot of people are talking about. And today, if you did not use that term, you would probably be termed illiterate. So it's interesting how this event is showing us the pulse of how the market is. So it's a good mirror of what's happening around us. So I do think that coming here once in a while after a gap is a good way to judge what's going on in the industry.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks.